Hello all and welcome to the Mug Life DIY. This is Julia and I'm so glad you decided to check out these really fun and fall craftiness all-in-one DIY. I am just stumbling. Today is just one of those days and it's been a long couple of days with all of my kids and work and crafting and just trying to make time for it all. Anyone else high five it down in the comments. Mom's struggle is real. I've also been trying to get everything ready for my son's school, so it's been a little bit chaotic. So I have been crafting past couple of nights, trying to clear my mind, clear my head, getting ready, and I've got a lot of whoopsie fails in this one. As you can see, I dumped out way too much Mod Podge onto my little circle board, which is from Dollar Spot. I think originally I got it, of course, at Dirt Cheap, which I have so many more of these dirt cheap signs. So I will be doing a lot more. A alternative to this round sign would be if you had a Dollar Tree round sign. They have several of these decor pieces, but I absolutely love, I said this last time, this scrapbook paper that I bought at Michael's. It is the fall collection. I will have to, let me see, I'll have to take a picture and I'll tag it on my Instagram of the the scrapbook paper cover so you guys can be on the lookout for it. I love the words and the sayings and the colors, and I just love it. So what I did was I Mod Podged one of my scrapbook papers to my circle sign. Then I'm just taking this random piece of wood that I had laying around. It's like an MDF cardboard. I couldn't even tell you where I got it from. Probably a recycled piece that I found and saved, and this is what I do. I braided some of my Raffia hula hoop skirt, which is, y'all know, a favorite of mine. So if you guys didn't pick up some of that Raffia, I will link some on Amazon that I do like to get from. It's a lot thicker than the Dollar Tree, so word to the wise, it is nice. And I am taking my Dollar Tree little, what are these? The little cubies, some popsicle sticks, and of course, y'all know my favorite, these little magnets. This sign, I want to change it out. And what I'm going to do, yes, I started out with 2 magnets, not really thinking, hey, this is kind of a heavier sign. So those 2 little arrow marks are places I am going to be adding magnets to. So I don't do it right now, obviously, because brain, I'm like, oh yeah, it'll totally hold it. It didn't. So I'm taking this little garland that is from the Harvest section in Dollar Tree. Absolutely loved it. It's like this greenish foresty moss color with this like off-white cream, and I just adored it. I loved it. And I'm thinking, I don't know why I didn't just make a big circle first. I don't know. There's got to be an easier way than doing what I did. I would glue it, then I would clip it, and then I would bend it, and then I would glue it, and then I would clip it. It just took forever. So I just have a feeling if you just kind of made the little circle garland larger and then glued it all down, it would be easier. So don't do what I do, just do as I say. Yeah, so I don't know, guys, they're just, sometimes my brain is not quite at functioning mode at night when I craft. So I kind of just have to muscle through it, and that is what I am doing with this first craft. And my favorite old-time way to hang up any of my signs is to take a popsicle stick, some jute twine, and glue it down. This one I did reuse the string. I feel like it was from, oh gosh, it was from another Dollar Tree sign. So I just knotted the ends again and glued it up on my wall. I absolutely love this one. I love the green in this little garland. It is so much fun, and I just absolutely adore anything with raffia. So I kind of made a picture frame 3-dimensional sign. Yeah. I love it. I actually feel like it can be year-round. It's not quite entirely fall-ish, so I am going to be making a couple more of these. I'm going to say almost like pizza pan signs, and stay tuned for the next one that I make for that bag. So project number 2 is, I'm going to say medium-ish. It's not super hard. It was trying to get the best of me, but I didn't let it. So I took one of these little pans. Actually, I think they're burner covers from Dollar Tree, and a glass I had on hand, I believe also from Dollar Tree. And I am going to make a little wood stump tray. So this is one of my favorite wood techniques. It's not that hard, but it does take some practice. You're going to paint the medium coat first, which I like spray painting. I feel like covers the easiest. Yes, it does have a little bit longer of a drying time, but I just love the coverage. So then you're going to dry brush your black, which is going to be the grain almost, and then you're going to layer on your browns on top. I didn't quite like the darkness of this first brown I was using, so I was like, oh, let me just add some lighter brown with a little bit of red hues in it, and I just kept going. This is just a labor of love, which has been, I feel like, most of my projects this week. Labors of love. They have been trying to get the best of me, but I'm just going to let it go. And you're about to see another one of my fails. It doesn't even faze me, and I don't know if this would stop you guys, but I just kept going. So I hope you at least get a laugh out of my next upcoming fail, which it's pretty obvious when you see it. And there you have it. Paint everywhere. Just kept going. Just painted with it and just kept going. I was like, oh, it'll dry pretty fast. It's acrylic paint. It actually, paint spilled over a little bit on the edge, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. I got my son to bring me up a cloth so I could get the overspill, but it didn't slow me down at all. I do like to add water to a lot of my paints just so I can use every little bit of paint from it. So it was just a little bit too watered down, and I didn't realize it before I went to dump it onto my piece of cardboard. I would definitely recommend using a foam brush. This foam brush made the grain look so much better. I did not like the texture that my paintbrush gave off. So if you want to do this, definitely you'll want to use a foam brush. Sorry guys, my allergies, they've been a hot minute. So on the little bottom part of the stump, which actually looking at it, this kind of reminds me now of a mushroom. I don't know why, but we're going with it. The bottom part, I tried to do as long strokes as I could. When I was doing the shorter strokes, I didn't like the end line that I kept seeing with the stroke. And so what I ended up doing was I took a little bit of my darker color and then just kind of moved it all the way around. And I felt like it gave a better, there you go. Now I'm finally doing it. A better coverage. And I don't know, let me know what you guys think of the end result, but I just was absolutely in love with this fun little tray with items I already had on hand in my craft stash. Also, don't know what happened, but I did do 2 coats of my Mod Podge clear coat on top just to make sure that it had a nice protective layer on it, which, I might change my mind in the next year or two and want to repaint it, but I still protected it as is. And I am taking my jumbo popsicle sticks from the Dollar Tree. If you had small popsicle sticks or even larger popsicle sticks, anything like that would work for this little scalloped border on the bottom. I have seen so many fun little trays in the store. I believe Magnolia at Target has something similar. I have seen items online, but I was like, I can totally make that. This is going to be so much fun for fall, and that was my inspiration, and I just ran with it. So I will have to count for you guys because I don't know how many popsicle sticks I actually used. I think it might have been like a whole pack from Dollar Tree, which would make this project $3. If you didn't have the paint, it would add it up to perhaps maybe $5, but most of us crafters always have popsicle sticks and paint on hand, so I don't always add that into my end result. And here you go. I just absolutely love it. It's so fun. And that's actually another piece that I'm still editing. Yes, that little fall pumpkin squatty guy. You'll see that in a couple of days. Sorry, you got a little quick preview. Now, if you guys have been on the hunt for this little pumpkin truck, I'm going to show you how you can take another one of your seasonal Dollar Tree signs and turn it into an absolutely adorable fall pumpkin truck. Now, I am going to be using this Easter sign, which it cracked me up when I bought it. I didn't even realize they totally hung the Happy Easter upside down. Yeah, I just realized it. It just was hilarious. So we're going to be cutting off that little top part. You could leave it on if you don't feel comfortable using a straight razor to cut into these little MDF signs, but it's totally doable. You just have to go slow, use a ruler, and play it safe. So I'm going to cut off poor little Easter bunny's butt and the Easter eggs. And I'm just using my straight razor and my ruler, and I'm just cutting along the edges of the truck body and the truck bed. Now, on to the next part. I'm pretty sure this is every crafter's least favorite part, getting off the glitter. The glitter that goes everywhere and appears everywhere and is just horrible. I am always just so amazed that Dollar Tree just loves some glitter. Like, they go all at it. So I am just sanding down my truck, trying to even out kind of like how it's raised a little bit. And then I'm going to go over with, actually, I'm only covering the pink body part just so that is covered very evenly. And I'm going to leave the little rims and the wheels, just leave those because I'm painting them black. And that's not really going to matter. But I am definitely painting over the edges, the front, the windows, all those little cracks and crevices with my apple barrel white paint. And this is always my favorite part of any of my truck crafts. This is going to go on my little crate, which I will have that video linked above, down below, all of the above with, yeah, is adding these little extra details. This is just so much fun, and I am taking just a wood dowel and adding it to the back piece. This is going to raise it up, give it some dimension, just add height. Oh, it's so much fun. So then I'm going to cut one of the dowels into 5 smaller pieces, and I'm going to glue those to the back. That is going to be the top slats, and then you're going to add one more round dowel across it to hold everything together. Now, in order to, I'm not going to say duplicate, but in order to get a similar look of the trucks, I am taking some crafting foam, which is also from Dollar Tree that I had on hand, and I'm kind of just roughly tracing out what the fender of the truck would look like if it was a little bit larger. So I'm kind of just like eyeballing it, and I cut it down to size, and you'd be surprised at what that itty bitty little bit of height adds to your truck when you are putting it down. Another good option would be if you had some cardboard laying around or even some heavy duty cardstock. It would have to be a pretty thick pound paper if you did that route, but I love how this ends up looking. I really feel like it adds to the vintageness. I'm not sure if that's even a word, but I just feel like it really adds extra dimension and depth to your truck. And now we're going to add some running boards at the bottom of the truck. And I'm just taking 2 regular popsicle sticks or crafting sticks, whatever you want to call them, down at the bottom. And I like the flat edge because a running board, typically in a vintage truck, they are flat. Next, I'm going to take some of the thinner bamboo skewers. I'm not quite sure if they call these the chopstick ones, but they are the much thinner. They're not quite the dowels. They're definitely like chopsticks, but I don't even think you can use them as chopsticks. And I am going to glue those down around the door frame and the window, and I'm even going to add one for the truck hood. Yeah, truck hood. Now on to my favorite part, which is the painting. I am taking this ivy green. I believe it's the Apple Barrel or Craftsmart. It's from the Walmart. I've had it forever. I love different greens, especially when I am painting a scenery picture. I just really like the depth and colors of green. So I decided I really wanted a rustic, like, looks like your grandpa's working on a farm kind of truck for my pumpkin. And I'm gonna say I'm going to make this a prize pumpkin. Like, this pumpkin is like going to be the bomb of all the pumpkins, so that's what this truck is going to be carrying. And so I just coated it with that dark paint first, and then I'm taking a little bit of a lighter green, which is, it's grass green. Yes, literally that's what it's called, grass green. And I'm just kind of adding a little bit to the back side behind the fenders. Then I'm going to add some of my rust, as I like to call it, which is just some Dollar Tree cinnamon over top while the paint is still tacky, and that's going to add the vintage vibes that we're going for. And I watered down some more, yes, watered even more, some of my brown paint that had spilled, just added water to it to make kind of a darker stain for my wood slats. And I like to paint the front and the back just in case it's seen even just a little bit. So I painted all parts of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint my black tires, and I am making the rims a little bit smaller because I'm doing one of my favorite things that I love to do, and add my beer caps. So those are going to be the hubcaps for our tires, and the running boards I'm just going to paint black, and I will add some other light colored details for highlighting. Then I'm going to glue 2 of my matching bottle caps to the tires to make the rims. Now, I did not quite record me painting my pumpkin, so that's one of the Dollar Tree. It's like the little wooden plaques. It has the hole. I covered it with some little brown twine that I had, and I'm going to glue my two magnets to each other and glue the pumpkin to it. And I think this has got to be my favorite. I don't know, maybe second favorite. I can't decide out of all of my truck crafts or crates. So I am so happy with how this little guy turned out. With or without his pumpkin is a fun little detail, and I'm so happy with actually all of these, even if they were slightly infuriating fall crafts. I hope you guys have an awesome and wonderful week, and that this will inspire you to start some fall crafts. And I will see you guys next time.